Hello everyone, and welcome to another live stream here on the twitch.tv/the Xisuma, and today's stream, and I guess video, VOD if you're watching on the second channel, is sponsored by HelloFresh, which I am really excited about as I've been a customer of theirs for a long time. We'll be talking about that somewhere around the midpoint of this stream, and if you look in the description box of the video, you can get a discount code, all of that kind of stuff, right? So if you want to know more about them, we'll be covering that later on in the stream. As for right now though, we're doing Minecrafty stuff, peeps. We're working on this project, which turned out to be utterly glorious. Like, I read lots of the comments and the feedback. It was terrific. Here's the thing though, I'm not really prepared. However, my ender chest is supposed to make me prepared for many an occasion, right? So I need like warped wood. Is that actually in here? That's one of the wood types. That's one of the few things that isn't in here. This system is amazing. I'm thinking I don't need to carry this around with me so much anymore. We'll be able to put even more items in this system soon. So we're gonna gather some of the things that we need, but we've already got some of them on us, right? Like dark prismarine. Okay, because what we're doing is we're just finishing off the transition, which is going to be done with slabs between these various bits. Might want to get more mushroom stems, or maybe I'll just cover those around. I'm not quite sure how that's going to work. Welcome to all the peeps tuning in. We've got our first noises in the ear. Dante Redeye 41 months, Sally Ann 123, a legendary 90 months right there. Evil X in the chat. Ye Old Envelope is here for 5 months as well, and we had a new Patreon signing up, Danny Dolphin. What an awesome name. Thank you for signing up to our Patreon community. Hope you enjoy playing on the Let's Play Minecraft Together server. Very much hope you enjoy it. So we need the... I got the moss blocks, but I won't have the wool, right? Hopefully, like, I'm really bad at remembering, so I'm kind of hoping that by going back and forth, I'll kind of pick up some of these. So we need, like, warped wood so far, and green wool. Warped wood, green wool, then we need the lime one, so the lime and the green. The desert stuff, you know, I don't actually need to put that in my inventory right now because I know I've got all of that sussed. So green and lime boxes, warped wood, and then mangrove wood is something I also have. Okay. So we'll whiz across here. Bam. And you know, I'm seeing all these messages in chat. I don't want to be ignoring anyone right now, but I got things I need to keep in my noggin for a second. This is one of them. Potentially going to use some of that up there as well. Warped wood will be one of these, right? Like those planks. And then a bunch of this stuff. Awesome. So, once again, just highlighting the storage system. How awesome it is. I spill water on my computer but can't stop that xisumavoid grind. If you spill water on computer components, right? Like, try and dry... Actually, I'll tell you what, this is not verified advice. Maybe double check what I'm about to say, but use something like a paper towel to soak up as much water as you can without really, like, pressing into the hardware, and then put it in an airing cupboard for, like, a week, and cross your fingers. And pray for some luck. We've got the one, the only bear, 818 here for 21 months. What's a bear's favourite type of pie? Blueberry. Love it. Love the puns. I was watching The Last of Us, and they had some amazing little puns in that show, and there was one I really wanted to tell my mum because I know it would make her laugh, and then I forgot what it was. It's like I should have written that down. Oh boy, if there's something that I'm learning a lot about lately about myself, it's that I'm getting older and my memory is definitely like not as sharp as I want it to be, and there's this constant rat race all the time of stuff you're trying to get done. I don't know how to slow it down. If I could slow it down, maybe I could focus a little bit more on memory and just trying to do a better job with details, you know? Things that are important, things that are not important. Unless you put in the effort, you know, nothing will really change. So, yeah, I don't know, just another reminder. Just another reminder for me. Right there. So we can do it like this, yeah? Then we need some like randomization going on to blend the two together is sort of the idea. And we've got a variety of textures here to work with. Can't forget about that one. That one's a classic. Kind of needs some just excess stone to place underneath here as well, the way it's cut out. There we go. What are you doing today, says that cheese guy. The title of the stream should inform you as to the intention of my activities. We are working on Pearl's storage system and this tunnel right here, as well as other things. Just kind of occurred to me that maybe, just maybe, like is there a texture that fits between these two colors? Chat, this is where you help me out. Let me know if you think there's something that would fit between. Here's the other thing. I talk about going into creative mode to like check out all the different blocks in the game, but that's kind of here now. So I saw the mushroom block, that sort of brown color. But you need brown with like probably a terracotta, right? Like a orange terracotta might do the trick. Interesting. What's this? I've literally got like endless chests of gunpowder. I've literally got more gunpowder than Joe will ever need, lying around in chests. So let's see if Joe can get to the Nether Hub tree. So I was about to make some of this. We'll throw down a block just before we leave. I've got it covered, that's right. Don't you worry about it. Like, I think a few of these just in the transition, and they're actually kind of darker. Maybe what I needed was just the undyed terracotta. That's probably close, or maybe yellow. Like, okay, right. I don't want to get too lost in this. Quickly now. My inventory is starting to saturate itself. Yeah, the yellow. Huh. Kind of probably does actually work a bit, doesn't it? Let's come back to that in a moment. What's Joe saying as well? Let me grab some empty shulkers I need there now. Am I just supplying people? I'm just supplying everyone with what they need. I should have more rockets than this. I think I left them in a project box. Just in case we cut it close. Let's grab a few more. We got noises in the ear, by the way. Bait and Anil gifting a sub to Estelian and Mr. Boom Guy. Thank you for gifting the subs, my dude. Always appreciate seeing that. Let's press the button. Let's get the emote rolling. Thank you so much for your generosity and supporting our community over here. Oh, my mistake. It was Curls of Doom with the gifted sub to Estelian. Well, thank you, Curls, as well. I thought they were both from Bait and Anil. Thank you to the both of you. And we also got Carmex9248 here for 14 months. Oh, what did Beef say? I check out the shop. X, not sure. Maybe a shulker box full of... Oh, my. I AFK'd like half a day, like 12 hours, and got one box of shulkers, redstone. So you need to do that 7 times over. So about a week and a half of AFKing to get that many. Also, I should probably turn this thing off. Hey, we got Tunker out for 13 months. 13 months already. You have been amazing, incredible company for so long. Since season 3 of Hermitcraft, and I'm so grateful about it. My mum died in the pandemic, and for the next 3 to 4 months, the few times I got to laugh, it was because of you guys. So sorry to hear that, my dude, and I'm thankful we're able to bring you some form of joy and comfort in those times, you know. And thank you for sticking around for so long as well. I'll check how much I have once I'm back from X's gunpowder farm. I have some I can chip in. Cool.
I do have some I can chip in. Hey, X, thank you for your patience. I wanted to get some empty shulkers before I join you here.
Cool. No problem at all. Perfect timing, actually. Hi.
Great. Hi.
Love the hat. Looks so cool.
Cub fan original.
Yes. The way to the gunpowder is this way if you wish to follow me. And, oh gosh. You have to get in a group call. I always forget this.
Number are we going to? Sorry, I got a little behind.
Yeah, Oh, there you are. As I took off, I was like, oh, forgot to get in a group call, you know. It's just on our right. Just over here. And this is like one of the most awkward tunnels to cruise down when you're flying. I wish I'd have made it a little bit bigger. It's like try and get through here without banging your head. Oh, here we go, like a pro.
No, I'm pretty ow.
Oh,
yeah, that was
ow.
hard.
Same.
We made it the same distance. Nice.
Yeah, you know we have these like elytra flight courses. I've been thinking where I've been learning to fly around the various Hermitcraft tunnels. I think it might be cool to make like a very enclosed race course, if that makes sense. Like something with like lots of tricky tight turns and not a lot of open space could be kind of cool.
I think one thing that we should maybe do next season is have the mouths of our tunnels be wider than the tunnels themselves, like so it becomes a funnel when it meets the main tunnel, so that way you can turn left and right easier.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Because otherwise you've got to do these really sharp jerks where you have to like turn in as quick as you can.
Yeah.
Here's the spot. There's some here that will say gunpowder, right? And they are absolutely chock-a-block. I have raided some of these, but I know that there is just endless gunpowder here for you.
Fantastic. Yeah, because I need at least 140 stacks of gunpowder. I am going to be blowing up a gigantic hole sometime later this week. I'm going to post a message on the Hermitcraft Discord and in-game for anybody who wants to come witness it.
I would love to. I like explosions.
Yeah. I thought 200 stacks of gunpowder would be enough, and it wasn't.
Oh.
I needed twice. Yeah. So I'm probably going to end up placing about 100 stacks of TNT by the time I'm done.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
well,
we're going to try and blow it all at once.
Yeah, take everything you need from here as much as you want. There's certainly plenty of it. And if you're wondering about that noise, like there's an allay sorter up there, and so there's a clock, and yeah, it's just annoying.
Oh, that makes sense. Cool. Well, thank you so much, Xisuma. I really appreciate your help with this.
You're most welcome, Joe. Yeah, as I said, take all you need. Cool. Right, I'll see you probably when this explosion happens, I imagine.
Hopefully, yeah. I'll try and do it early enough in the day that it's UK-friendly time. I don't think I'm going to get it today. It'll probably be tomorrow or the day after.
Cool. So. I'll be on the lookout. Right, I'll see you around.
Catch you later, X.
Oh! And that was me trying to do that tight turn we were talking about. See? Look at this. Oh! Ugh! Takes skills to get out of there. Awesome. When update 1.20 comes out, how long will it take to update vanilla tweaks to version 1.20? I do not know. Any redstone in the chests for beef? I have redstone, but not a shulker box worth of blocks, and I literally just farmed up some because I've run out. So I ran out, farmed the box in half a day. You know, I'm happy to give stuff away, but I'm not going to give away everything I've got if someone needs more than I've got, you know. Mr. Asteroid, or sorry, Miss Asteroid. Gosh, how to butcher that. Thank you for subscribing. Appreciate your support. I'll give you a butcher name because I did mess that up. Now, Peep's also got a hot cup of tea here. Got to drink it at some point, right? There was some chest where you were with Joe. I am guessing those were empty. It says button. Some chests were empty, some chests were full. Oh, you mean redstone? Yeah, that redstone got raided. Let me ask Joe, actually. I'm pretty sure I emptied those out, but worth a double check. X, who do you think is the best elytra fly among the hermits? Says Exotic Legos. I do not know, but I must say Grian uses rockets like aggressively, and I remember watching his challenge. Like he had a challenge video, right? Challenge video. Start again. There was a challenge, an elytra challenge course that he created. And when I saw him flying it in his videos, I realized that the whole approach to flying with your elytra can be quite different. I was way more conservative and sort of like use one and glide and drift and then use another, and he's more like you know, bang, 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 and just like making sharp turns and stuff. And so, clearly more versatile with the elytra than I am. Oh, cool. I guess we'll let Beef have those ones. Beth. We'll let Beth have them. Yeah, I'm not so sure about this. Like, it feels like I might be kind of overthinking this a little bit. Like, it's just gonna be a bit harsh, whatever we put here. A couple of blocks of sand. So that's a bit more tolerable. The slabs here, not so pretty, but I don't know. I think the yellow ones, honestly, they don't quite work for me. Need like a brownish slab. In this game, I don't think we have one. Let's just try those like that. That ain't the worst thing ever, really, is it? It's just you kind of look at it, and yeah, it's gonna be awkward, whatever you do. So I reckon I'm good with that, but maybe just yeah. I think that's the way I want that one. Then we have this. Oh wait a minute, we've got baddies in the area. That's not good. Let's see where this guy spawned. It should be, yeah, the only places they can spawn are in the spots I haven't actually developed. So, we're all good. We're all good. Did you see the new Team Canada video? I'm so happy they're back. I saw it as in it was in my feed, but that's about as far as I went. I haven't watched playthroughs like that in a long time. Long time. They were terrific back in the day. Loved watching CTM maps a long time ago. But as things go, you know, sometimes you lose interest in certain things over time. I listened to a commentator. I think what's his name again? Ronald Coleman or something. Who put out this video yesterday that just struck a nerve with me about how I've been feeling about some of this like Star Wars and Star Trek content. Called it like franchise fatigue. You know? Like if you watch a lot of content over and over again, it kind of hits that point where some of what it offers tends to lose its value at some point. And I'd really enjoyed watching Andor and didn't really enjoy season 3 of Star Trek Picard, but just getting this feeling like I can't be bothered with this. And I've really been enjoying watching The Last of Us on HBO and Chernobyl. And, you know, some of the, like, more mini-series, things that have an end that just don't seem to keep going on and on. And I just felt like that idea of franchise fatigue really kind of, like, summarized my feelings pretty well. It's just, like, these worlds are now sort of on a pipeline. You know, they're going to keep bringing stuff out. Like, when you're watching Andor, you know there's going to be a second season of this, right? Like, and I think that sort of devalues it a little bit in a ways. And it makes me feel a little less interested as a viewer. I might be alone in those feelings, but I reached the point of Marvel fatigue before Civil War, says Penderluft. I never got into Marvel at all. It's interesting because I've sort of always been a bit not into franchises just because they're franchises, right? But then some of the stuff that I do like Star Wars and Star Trek, has now really been pushed into franchise territory. And now I see that without really thinking about it, I've started to like not enjoy this stuff as much. And maybe it's because of how heavily it's been franchised now. Kinda related, but I've never watched a Star Wars film, says Way Forward. I mean, if you're not into movies, okay. But like, if you are, those originals are classics for a reason. Is Star Trek fun, says Blake Goes Live. I really love the next generation of Star Trek and Deep Space Nine and Voyager to a lesser extent. It appeals to me for a reason that I think most people don't see when they first see Star Trek. I think they see like nerdy sci-fi. And what I see is like the sort of humanitarian questions that the show asks, the adventures that you go on in space, and the events that happen and whatnot, they tend to sort of actually be maybe about something else, right? Like, it's a little bit more about the situation asks questions of us. So like, the way in which you interact with an alien species can perhaps... Wait, why is that... Is that lime or green, that one? That one's lime. Okay, it looked kind of dark. Can be more, perhaps a bit more metaphorical, so to speak. You know, it kind of holds a mirror up to ourselves. And so a lot of what I like in Star Trek is when it gets you thinking on an ethical level. You know, what is our role in the world? What are our morals? A lot of the territory it goes to kind of asks these questions of ourselves. What I could do here is put in some walls and make some carpets on top of them. Curl says, I love the ethical and philosophical discussions in TNG. Yeah, that would be it. There's this ethical and philosophical undercurrent, which the aliens and the space drama and the space opera is like sort of above. So, like, if you're coming in and you're not seeing it, like, you tend to see that first. But if you stick around and follow the themes of the show and the episode, then you start to like pick up on, oh, there's like way deeper stuff going on here, right? And it's that deeper stuff that I'm into with those shows. Star Wars is interesting, though, because of all the different aspects of the universe they could go into, says Dreams Escape. I'd agree, but I feel like the universe of Star Wars is the setting. Whereas with Star Trek, it is the interesting thing. Star Trek explores the universe and, like, endless possibilities are out there, whereas Did I say Star Wars? Star Trek does that. Star Wars is more like a story, a typical heroes and villains and redemption arcs type storytelling, just set in space. Oh my god, there's some good tea I'm enjoying right here, by the way. I would love if Star Wars branched away from lightsabers and Jedi, kind of like what Andor does, says Jan. I was just about to say, that's what Andor does, right? Like, Andor was a Star Wars show without any of the typical Star Wars stuff you would expect. Which is a bold decision for them, really. Yeah, you can see here how, like, there's just such a vividness between these colours that it makes it, like, a little tricky to traverse, but it's not the worst one ever. There's probably a tone that sort of rests somewhere in the middle here. We don't really have green slabs, so I think, you know, you accept limitations sometimes, right? You're just like, hey, that's the way that is. And then you crack on. By the way, I didn't get to do my stream on Sunday morning. This was my plan for Sunday morning, to do all this. I had a sore throat, but don't worry about me, it was all good. It was from good and fun, not from being sick or anything like that. So I'm perfectly fine. Had a great weekend. And, yeah, I'm back. I'm here. All good. Voice got back to its usual strength within, like the following day. Like, I couldn't... What's this thing? I've been watching Harry Potter, right? Decided, because now they're on Netflix, I decided, right, I'm going to watch through all the Harry Potter movies. I've been thinking about doing this for a while. Always this Harry Potter voice, like, just as a joke, because, God, the way they say his name over and over again in that, you know, Malfoy's always going, Potter, Potter, just saying it so ridiculously. I just always take the mick out of it. And, yeah, I couldn't hit that range in my voice. It was like, it just wouldn't go there. And then yesterday it would, and it was a bit crackly and stuff. So that's, like, been my test. It's been my test for myself. But I try and say that if I struggle, I know I'm not there. And yes, to those of you asking, Harry Potter is on Netflix, all of the movies. Netflix do this, if you think of their catalogue as static, that's not quite how it works. They tend to, like, get things in and out for a while. and it seems like they've, you know, got a deal going on where they've now got the Harry Potter stuff in, which is cool. And, you know, I think I've got like a few of them on DVD or whatever from years ago, but I mean, I don't even have a DVD player hooked up to much stuff anymore. So it's nice and convenient that it's on Netflix. Golden TNT MSD 1477. Oh, months. Evil X in the his house. Also Drew Dude. Here for 23. Thank you so much for your support. Drew Dude says Potter. Potter. Oh, you're a wizard, Harry. Oh, I love those movies. I love those movies. I've seen the first few a lot, and it's the later ones that I think I've underappreciated because I probably just kind of like lost interest to some extent, or probably thought of it as being childish at the time. As into me metal and all of me zombie movies and stuff, couldn't be watching no Harry Potter, right? Well, oh yeah, actually I've got the block that I'm looking for. Like, everything's right here. I don't know why I wandered back. I had this feeling of like, oh, I need that block, but we've already got it. You're our Doom, X, says Wayford. I am Doom. Speaking of Doom, played a little Doom for myself and had so much fun. I played not Thy Flesh Consumed, that's an original episode. I played, oh, there's something Nightmare in the name. This is what I'm on about with memory. I keep worrying myself like, jeez, I keep forgetting stuff that I should really be remembering. Is it Nightmare or something to do with like, oh gosh, look at this. Can't remember, can I? Just can't remember. Anyway, Little Nightmares, that is not the name of it. It's not the name of it. What are you chatting about, Bear? It doesn't help when I can't tell you the name of the episode. Well, there you go. I'm trying to remember the name of the episode, right? But it just won't come to me right now. It's got Nightmare in it, I think. Or something that sort of sounds like Hell on Earth, but just sort of worded differently. Anyway, it was an expansion made by Bethesda in like 2010, somewhere around there, and it's completely flown under my radar for so long. Quite miffed as to how I've not heard of it sooner. And yeah, it's on Steam. You can actually like get it fully supported on Steam, which is really cool. I like the way they've ported the original Doom game over there. It plays really nice, just kind of like the way I like to play it. So anyway, I just played that to myself, and it was absolutely awesome. The levels were really cool. They had some new kind of like strategies and there we go. No Rest for the Living. That's the one. Thank you, girls. No Rest for the Living. No Rest for the Living. That's the name of the episode. And it was really good fun. Now, the very final level of that, dang, was that a good one. You start off in a room, you go through into another room, and then when you hit the button on the wall, you fall down slowly, like the floor lowers, and there's like these two entrances with just an endless stream of imps coming in left to right. And then behind it, there's like this maze that you can sort of disassemble by lowering the platforms. And in there is a cyber demon, and this guy just one shot kills you if he gets you, and he is so difficult to dodge. You have to be strafing, you have to have a reasonable distance between you and them. So it's a very difficult fight, and I spent like a good half hour just playing it over and over again and slowly getting a little bit better and figuring things out. You had to play with this strategy of like shooting like this, bam, 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 back and forth, and eventually I was able to like clear out all the imps and then figure out like what's the next strategy for killing the cyber demon. You have to kind of like run around the maze, like hiding from the guy and trying to get off a few shots here, but it takes like 100 rockets to kill the fella. So it was a pretty intense Doom experience, which I like. Because I like Doom. And there's a few more of it as well. Okay, so I guess the more dominant material around here will be these woods. Just for this bit right here. Xisuma, will some chunks be reset for 1.20? I'd imagine the hermits will have to go far for untouched cherry biomes and armor trim templates. No, they won't, because we do regular pruning of the world. One of the advantages of doing that means that we don't have to go through some big chunk resetting fiasco, because that has already been taken care of by yours truly over the season. Do I not? I don't have like sand, red sand. That's the one I was looking for. I think I might just put in a couple of those in this area. Let's have like a red sand there. Then we need some slabs, right? And I think down in this spot, a couple of planks here and there. Actually, at that level, they could be these things. And that's kind of shaping up pretty nice now. Yeah, that's really quite simple, actually. Right, and the last one involves nether brick. Now, I think this is going to be the easiest of all of them, because all I'm going to do is that, and then just a row of nether bricks. So, dang, we've made our transitions, haven't we? We should check the lighting level. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. I'm gonna cheat. This cheat? I'm gonna cheap it. Cheat or cheap? I don't know. We're gonna do that. I loved your Doom Eternal playthrough on your second channel, says Drew Dude. I'm glad you did. Part of me wanted to make the Doom thing into videos, but part of me also didn't. I've kind of become, I don't know, a little less. I'm trying to get away from this mindset of like everything being content. I feel like it's spoiled the fun of certain things for me, because the content brain turns on and then it just feels like a pressure to make stuff. And so I wanted to enjoy this Doom map without it being about making content, and I probably would have enjoyed it just as much if I was recording at the same time, but it was nice to just do that for myself and not have it be about content. So happy I did that. Happy I did that. Oh, I already had carpets in there. I should have used them. Now, I could have actually run this through our filter, as you might know. But we don't need to do that. Where'd I get all this dark prismarine from? Did I just, like, take it out and plop it back in? I think that's what I did. So, like, yellow, red. Right, so terracotta would go back into here. The dyes came out of here. This we grabbed from storage. So these things would all go back to storage. Yeah. Okay, so now I know where we're at. There's like one thing left. It's that. Good. Good, good, good. Let's pack all of this away. Oh, I've got 2 crafting benches now. One of them was actually left here, wasn't it? It's coming back to me. Coming back to me. X, would you be interested in? Says Penderloft. Would I be interested in? I imagine I would be interested in. I'm usually interested in things. Okay, That's correct. Oh, no, one more. Surely you haven't subbed for 2 years to expect Doom content, says AO Dragon. Well, I do occasionally post Doom content. In fact, it was less than 2... Well, we had a Doom video like a week or 2 ago, and then maybe a year before that we had the Sigil thing, right? And then there's going to be Sigil 2. I tell you what, there's a Doom series I will be playing. Sigil 2 will go out on the channel, no doubt. I feel like that's one that, you know, totally deserves it. I also, every now and then, get like an urge to do like a live stream of Doom. So maybe I'll stream the next one I play. Suma, will you do a guide into a 1.20 video? I don't think I will. I just don't feel like doing that. And again, I'm trying to get away from like content brain all the time. There's a possibility I might, but I wouldn't count on it. You know, I've got some other things going on at the moment. Oh, some good tea. That is some good tea. And we, my friends, have finished one of 2 projects today. The next one involves some redstone, so I better take that along. Hey, good to see Cub online. I feel like I haven't seen Cub log in for a minute. Let's just go recap that quickly. Ah, yeah, that's the way. So cause we're zipping across this way, you barely notice it. Going back the other way, it's there, but it's not awful. Like, you can just kind of see how it's awkward to do, but we've done it. So very happy with that. That was a good project. Don't forget your letter T, says Liger Gaming. My letter T? The letter T. I feel like you're sending me a cryptic message that I don't understand. Enjoying dinner with the Rainbow Road, says Admirari. Ah. I like rainbow salad. Making me think of food. Isn't this for pearls, shop, and storage redstone? Yes, that's correct. I just wanted to let you know that I love the item swapper mod. It's just amazing. Just want to let you know that the nether section is missing the cracked nether bricks. Oh yeah, be sure to file a bug report on the mod page for that one. Yeah, I am really good at remembering to use that when I'm. Whoops, got my keys the wrong way around. When I'm in, oh yeah, I can swap it to ender chest. When I'm in creative mode, I'm getting really good at remembering it's there, but when I'm in survival, my brain is still very oriented to sort of controlling my inventory in a very manual way, just because I've had to deal with that small inventory size for so long. So I haven't quite been able to translate it over. Like I said, just being silly, nothing cryptic, you're drinking tea. Oh, I've actually finished my cup of tea. It's all done with. Alright, time to pop over to the next spot. Thin Bird, thank you for the lovely message. Very kind of you to say that. Very kind. Okay, so popping down here, you know, progress is going to be a little bit slow on this one. Oh, and I spoke to Xisuma, and the issue here was not a schematic or a world edit or anything like that. I went into the world this is from, and this block here was just missing, and so is this trapdoor actually. So I don't know what happened there, but it was somehow able to create the world with like a ghost block. So after doing that, we're kind of getting towards the top of this. Oh, do you know what I'm supposed to bring when I work on this? I'm supposed to bring the color boxes, aren't I? What we're going to do is just continue to raise this thing up. Oh, and I see pearl. Oh, that's a good spot for it, you know? Wow, look at that dedication. Like, this almost looks like a block for block transfer over to this spot. Fascinating. Fascinating. Oh, and look, the floor. Ah, so some decorative ideas have already been put in place. And our suppliers are still here. We'll take this opportunity just to, you know, fly through our glorious nether again and pick up the boxes of dye. Hey X, remember me? I was the partially oxidized copper farm. I can't figure out how to start, but I'm not progressing. I will work on that soon. I've been, like, just absolutely hammering away at my next episode of Hermitcraft, right? And it's going to be a long episode. It's going to be a special. I've done so much for it today. And there's still, like, a ways to go. And then when that's done, that's my next project, I think. And for me, like, from where I'm at right now, I have, again, like, a project wrapping up and then another one starting behind the scenes that takes off, like, up a lot of my time. I'm trying to like, make that pivot to like, a different flow of how I put together my episodes and stuff. And I'm hoping it's going to work in a way where the episodes become a bit more, like, focused around an interesting idea. I kind of realized that sometimes I get into this groove of just, like, rolling from one thing to the next, and now I think I want to get back to, like, going in with an idea and getting from like A to B, from like start to end. Daniel7101, thank you for 56 months. I went to do some groceries today and I saw a pretty long line. New groceries must have come out, I bet. Why does that one just not work in my head? New groceries must have come out. Dude, that one really goes over my head. Like, the pun or the joke is in the word groceries, right? But it's just not translating. Like a new update or items. Yeah, but that doesn't, like, where's the pun? You're sort of saying, like, I went to go shopping and saw a pretty long line. New shoppings must have come out, I guess. Like, there doesn't seem to be a joke or a pun in there. Maybe it's not actually a pun. Maybe you just... I don't know. I don't get that one. Is it even a joke? Yeah, it might not actually be a joke. It's like lining up for a new game. Oh, well, you know, sometimes you have queues at shops and people are there to get something, right? I thought it was a pun. Obviously not. Okay, so, yeah, we can settle these things down. I'm trying to also, every time I, like, do this, I'm trying to keep the way all the items link, or sorry, the colors link together, like, in my mind. Gosh, bad with words, aren't I? I'm trying to keep the color pattern that Mojang put together for us, like, sort of front and center. Because if I keep doing it the same way over and over again, oh, look, no, that's right. Then it just helps me, like, remember their layout, and then, yeah, it just becomes more and more natural. Also, I think the thing I was going to place next was actually just loads of hoppers and composters. Let's get up there. I've done so much redstone lately. Did you and the Hermits ever plan to start a new season with the 1.20 update? No, we've never planned to do that. Oh wait, that's the message that I read a moment ago. I make sure I upgraded everything to netherite before the update. Yeah, there isn't. Is there a specific need for netherite in the next update? Or is it just a case of like, hey, I'm going to do that before all of this? This one right here at the end might be a little different. I need to check the updated world that Xisuma, or Kaz, sent me. Great guy, by the way. Been ever so helpful. It's really kind. Like, we have a lot of help from people, you know, who are willing just to, like, come in and help us with projects and stuff because we're hermits, and it's immensely helpful. Oh, right, this thing's, like, way up high at the moment. Yeah, really, really fortunate. Like, people like Cybot as well has just been absolutely awesome. Helping with projects, because I've been thinking about some of the projects I did in the past, like when I made Lights Out, and I put like a ton of time into that. And I've been working on Cybot with a project, and like I can probably get there in the end, and it won't look as good. And you know, it'll take me a lot of time, but having someone like help you realize your vision in a lot less time because they're very talented at a specific thing. That's just immensely helpful for, you know, getting all of these ideas and all that we do in the Hermitcraft world, like, to come to life. It's so helpful. And this is just, like, another moment where you can see how many hours it takes in between our regular scheduled episodes and stuff to, like, make projects like this work. But you've also got someone else helping you, which is just amazing. The Hive Mind says Kook or of Cocoa Puff. Yeah, it is in one hand the Hive Mind, but not to hijack Doc M's term. He's talking about a specific group of Minecrafters. I think a lot of them are Psycrafters, or like, you know, adjacent in the technical community. Like, his Hive Mind is like a whole community of people that work on all these crazy things in the game. And for me, it tends to be just I collaborate with individuals on occasion. Right, and there's a hopper pointing that way there. And then we got this lime glass again and the chest. You know, I'm kind of very aware that there's things that have got to go under here, but we'll just gonna throw that in there for now. I want to go back and double check how we did it over there. Yeah, look, see, I missed there was this. Nice. Yeah, right. We won't build up any more redstone there, but now we're going to put the composters on top. I absolutely love this song. I've been listening to this song a lot lately, as well as some by Carbon Lifeforms, and just stuff from like my Cosmic Ambience playlist. I really love how it like engrossing this mood feels. It's really great when you're like working on redstone or like focusing on something, or you just need to like mellow out. It's become like my new favorite music for sort of like a long time, is to listen to like ambient-y, drony background stuff. When I say background, that's not like a disservice to it, it's more like a compliment. Like, it has this ability to sort of like linger in the background and influence how you're thinking and feeling. It's gorgeous. I just love this sort of music. It's been a pleasure to have some of those artists let me use their music on stream as well. Pendeluff says, X, would you be interested in a potential HC Vault Hunters series at some point? Iskal was talking about it a couple of days ago on stream, but wasn't sure who would be interested. He asked us to check with the Hermits. Yeah, so I was really interested in Vault Hunters at a point in time, but I haven't had that modded fever personally for a while. And I think it's just because I love to play modded. I would get into it if I did. But I've also become really aware, and I've said it many times, but I'm just like a one Minecraft world kind of player. Especially if it's vanilla. It's like just such a big time consumer. As soon as we go beyond like one world, things start getting a little tricky for me to manage, you know, so... Oh, I should really just pick up all of the different components right now, you know? Apparently I don't have repeaters sorted out. So we need repeaters, we need target blocks probably. Bit more redstone dust. Some torches. That should settle me. So anyway, if everyone else was kind of into it, then I'd probably be joining. Like, I like to do things with the Hermits, but yeah. Ayo Dragon says, you ever listen to the band Godspeed You Back you Black Emperor? You would know that if you went to my music blog. It's on there already. Where's the ad for this? Do I have an ad for my music blog? Probably not. I don't think I got an ad for my music blog. Yeesh. Could have swore I had one of those. Anyway, if you go to the Googles and search... Actually, go to linktree.xisumavoid.co. Okay, you'll find a link to my blog on there. I write about music on a frequent basis. And if someone asks me, have you listened to that? Have you listened to that? Is my opportunity to let you know that you can go on there. You can search. You can search by artist. You can search by genre, year. There are so many options. Ratings. I rate stuff, although I would consider that to be a bit arbitrary. Ratings to me is more like, how did I feel about this record when I was writing about it? You know, I feel like the words themselves are probably the more valuable thing if you give it a read. Sometimes records, you don't really figure them out all the time, and then later on they become like one of your favorites, and sometimes you can be really hyped about something, and then years later it just don't feel the same. I find that like really fascinating. And it's like a conversation with no answers. When you try and get into the weeds of like, why is it that, you know, sometimes your mood can really influence how you're enjoying a record, and what does that mean? You know, if you hear a particular song or album or thing at a point in your life, I just find it the finicky nature of being a human just kind of like fascinates me sometimes. It's not digital, it's not hard-coded, it doesn't remain static, it's fluid, and so if I'm enjoying a record one minute but not the next, I'm quite curious about, like, why is that? Like, what was it about this record that meant things had to change? And I don't really get to, like, capture that with my blogs, because they tend to be more of like, hey, I just spent the last couple of weeks listening to this record, and now here's what I think about it. I listened to a Sleep Token. That was quite a fun, interesting record to get into. But that's one where I kind of feel like my opinion of it is probably going to change with time, and I don't know what direction. Like, if I hear it again in a couple of weeks, it might be like, oh, I'm so done with this. Or it might be like, oh, wow, yeah, that forgot how good that bit was, or whatever, right? But they're kind of like this hype band at the moment within metal. And my takeaway is kind of like, if you're into metal and extreme music, there's a high chance that you don't like listen to a lot of pop music, and so it kind of has that that kind of like sort of stealth element of putting something into the music where people aren't really used to that. Whereas if you do listen to pop music and that kind of stuff, like this really isn't like anything special in comparison. Because I like to listen to a lot of like upbeat kind of pop music, and when I do, the ethereal, dreamy kind of stuff is the direction I like to go in. And yeah, a lot of what I heard on that record was like that, just nowhere near as good as some of the like pop artists that do that thing. One crowning grace they do have is their singer is a phenomenal talent. If he wasn't singing on that record, I think I would have listened to it once and moved on. But his voice is really captivating. Oh, what's going on here? Ah, we got some Axis stuff to figure out, it seems. Ooh. There's a thing, right? Like, that's... How do you do that? I think you would have to... you see, I don't want to end up with items inside this storage system just yet. Let's go ahead and power that and do this so that that rail will go, yeah, just like that. Drop it down. Yeah, we got to place some other blocks at this level first. Like an observer here and here. Then we got that redstone, couple of bits of redstone, right? Comparator going on in this space. X, being a fan of both Doom and music, have you heard of Geoff Plays Guitar? He's a composer who remixes the game's soundtracks into the style of Doom. It's really cool to see the interpretations of classic themes. I've not heard of them specifically, but I've been aware of like remix culture and tone swapping and all kinds of this sounds like that type stuff before, right? That's been around for a while. Also, the original Doom soundtracks, I mean, like they were basically like Alice in Chains, Metallica, Slayer. They were just their songs, sort of like ripped off in a way. Like, it sounds a bit harsh to say ripped off, but they were very crude implementations of those songs, and I don't think they were trying to, you know, pass it off as their own or whatever. They just did that, and it really suited the game as well. Am I going a little crazy, or does X's light Matica overlay look a little different? It shouldn't look any different because I haven't changed any of the settings or done anything like that. Oh yeah, we need soul sand around here. Oh gosh, always jumping back and forth to fetch some items we are. Have to go. Hope the storage facility goes well. Thank you. We're gonna be sort of wrapping up this bit today, and then I might come back and finish some more of that later. Speaking of Doom, has anyone seen the My House WAD map? It seems to be doing the rounds at the moment. Had a few people mention that already. I saw a video about it. It kind of looked like the kind of level that I wouldn't be too interested in. I'm really interested in that classic Doom feeling. It's very much probably a nostalgia thing. Like, that was a game that I never really properly played, I guess. It was always like this naughty kind of, you know, adult game or whatever. And my dad had a copy of it on floppy disks, and occasionally I'd like sneak the floppy disks, install it, and then hide it, that kind of thing, you know. And then as I think like friends down the street had it, and we used to play that together, and I never really got to like fully experience it until like probably around like sort of 2006 time. Okay, we need white concrete next. And I remember like finding out about Zed Doom and stuff, and so I started playing it. But then I was only just like playing it casually, and it would always be when like friends were around, and so what's happened here? I'd never really get to play it properly. And then there was this point on YouTube where it's like, all right, apparently I'm a professional gamer now. Like, why don't I play Doom on my channel? And I went and played it. This was at a time where I used to like post videos every day, and I had so much fun playing it again. And the style of the level just really kind of captivated me. Now, as you saw there, that went over to the side. I think I actually need to probably not have this here, and maybe at that point refer to the world again, because the world with the finished design is slightly different to the schematic we're working from here. So I think this means we probably correctly assembled the contents of this area. I don't know why that one's flagging up. Like this one here as well, power 1. Like, why does that have a power of 1? Maybe when stuff is wired up properly back there, it will all kind of like fit together and make sense. Sometimes it's like that when you build from a schematic. It's not until you get every single piece in place, and then there's like a certain component that needs to be powered in a particular order, and then once you've done that, you're all good. Like that's not actually there, is it? Right? So there's many details here that I'll come back and double check, open up containers, make sure things are all configured correctly. For now though, that's all we're going to do today. Well, actually it's not true. I'll come back here later actually. If I wrap up my stream in this area working on this project some more, that'll actually work out really well for me for what I have to do after this project. So I'm just managing all the different things I need to like juggle when I work on these big projects, right? Okay, so the things that go back in here are as follows. Some building blocks. This should probably be in my offhand. And then we got rockets and personal things. Looks like I used some nether blocks. We've got cyan. Such a beautiful system we've put together for ourselves. I don't even have to manually sort it out like that. Like I can, if I'm going to go throw these up on the wall and I've got time to sort stuff out, we can do that. But since I am just moving on to another location, yeah, we're not doing any of that. So, peeps, what we're doing next is going to be an awesome project. I'm going to introduce you to something new. And this is actually a project without an end. Like, I'm doing it because it's going to be amazingly cool. And then when it's done, I then have to find a reason for why I did that. Which sounds so strange, right? But it'll all make sense real soon. Have fun. When's the next stream, says that cheese guy. Great question. Maybe late Thursday evening. No, that's probably quite unlikely. I'm going to be out most of Thursday. I guess maybe Friday. Can't do Saturday. And then Friday and Sunday morning, I think, would be my next two if I can keep that, you know, pace moving along. I've also got to, like, figure out when this next episode of Hermitcraft is going to be finished because there's so much to do. We have Luana Canites for 16 months saying, X, thanks for streaming today. Thank you for your support, my dude. I'm always happy to do a live stream. We've got 740 peeps here tuned in. Be sure to hit the follow button if it's your first time coming by and hanging out and stuff. There is a stream happening in the future. No further details, says Bear. Well, I you know, it's like I said, I was going to stream Sunday morning. Something comes up. Feels like every time I try and get a schedule going or tell you when I'm next streaming, it all changes. So there's a very slim chance that it might make sense for me to stream tomorrow evening if the rest of the week looks a bit odd. Now, I didn't bring back my colour boxes, and that's fine because we don't need those. We need to come down here and grab a lot of a certain something from this spot right there. It's kind of perfect. And then, yeah, no, this is the way to go, but we have to stop and do something a little different for a minute here. First of all, I'm going to change my desk. Oh, time to stand, right? Yeesh. Definitely need some standing. X, I can't thank you enough for pointing me to your music blog. There is so much stuff to unpack over there. I love who you've covered in the archive so far, says AO Dragoon. Oh, thanks for the yeah, thanks for letting me know that you enjoy it. It's a work of passion that I've been chipping away at for absolutely ages, years, right? Cool. Right, peeps. Today's live stream has been sponsored by HelloFresh. If you're on the second channel, there'll be a link in the description box down below. If you're watching here on Twitch, there will be, you know, a panel. There will be links in chat. If anything that I'm about to tell you about interests you, then you can find those links and try this for yourself. I've been a HelloFresh customer for years now, and I'm so stoked to have them as a sponsor and to do this integration because, you know, being a YouTuber, being a full-timer, it's a business, and you want to work with other businesses that you actually believe in. So it's super awesome when an opportunity like this comes along, and it's with a product that I can genuinely say, hey, this is great, I use it myself, and I'm happy to recommend it to y'all. You'll get a discount on all that stuff as well if it interests you. Now, I do have some notes that I've got to go over and things as we do this, and I've got to find the buttons on my stream deck because I'm such a professional, and I just forgot where I put things for today. So first of all, the code is Hello Xisuma if you want to use the link, and you get about 60% off of your order. I'll go through those details again in a little bit. But the first thing I'm going to do is just to show you their website and how easy it is to use and how you can order stuff yourself here on the website. Now, HelloFresh is basically a meal kit or a food box delivery server. There's a whole bunch of there's a whole bunch of buzz names around what this is. You'll get a box like this. I get them every week. They're full of fresh ingredients. As you can see, lots of healthy foods here. Some canned stuff, some rice, all those kind of things to help you make some meals. You get these nice little A4 pieces of paper that have all the ingredients that you need for cooking, instructions on how to cook them, and you know, what you need, what goes into it. There's tons of information, everything you could want to know. Now, if you're shy about cooking, this is a great way to learn. I actually became a such better cook by using these sorts of services because I just picked up loads of tips and tricks, and you do it week after week, and you just remember how long this thing takes and that thing takes. And the best thing is you get to make really tasty meals. So yeah, a food box from HelloFresh is a food delivery box that brings fresh ingredients to your doorsteps instead of you having to hand select ingredients in a physical shop. When subscribed to a food box delivery service, you can identify the recipes you want online and get ingredients you need in the exact amount your recipe calls for, delivered straight to you. A fresh recipe box delivery is a convenient, cost-effective and sustainable alternative to supermarkets and other traditional food buying solutions. So think of it like this, you know, when you go to the supermarket, maybe you're like me and you're doing a load of planning, you're figuring out what meals you're going to have, you're making a list, or maybe you just walk around and casually pick stuff up. This is just like on your computer, on the website, or on your app, on your phone. You're just going to be picking out the meals that you want, and they're going to turn up at your door in a couple of weeks. It's, well, in a week. It's super easy and convenient. So, how does it work? You get to pick a plan. Like I said, there is an app. You get to just sort of like scroll through the different weeks, jump into a week, and then select all the meals that you want. You get the pictures of them, you get all the information about it as well. And then a week later, it's going to turn up on your doorstep, and you'll be able to start cooking. You get a box like this. They're full of bags with the ingredients in. They come with a cool bag to keep meats and other things like that that need to be cool as well. And then, as it says, you get to cook, eat, and enjoy, which, yeah, I very much enjoy. So when you sign up, you'll see a screen like this. You'll get all the pricing information down here. Remember, you can get that discount as well. And then you can modify your box to suit how many people are in your household. So you can have between 2 and 5 different recipes, right? And then you can modify that for the amount of people. So the portion sizes will increase based on how many people you want to feed. I happen to go for, I think I actually get 6 recipes. Like, it only shows 5 at the moment, but I get the the portion for 2 people, and I get 6 recipes a week. And because I eat a lot of food, I basically just have like 2 portions as one. So you'll cook that one meal, but then if you want to feed 4, you'll get that one meal, but you have enough ingredients to cook for 4 people, which is super cool. Now, we're not actually inside the selection part of the website, but this is kind of similar to what it's like. You're going to have a bunch of different dates that you can select for, and then there's going to be a menu that you can pick a bunch of stuff from. So, like, these are all your different meals. Don't they look gorgeous? Believe me, like, they're as good as they look. They really are. I absolutely love using these services. So, there's categories as well, like rapid means you cook it fast in 20 minutes. It's spicy. You can go by the amount of calories. There's categories like veggie and high protein, I think, is another one. That's one I'm always going for. So you can really kind of like cater to your own needs and tastes. And then when you're selecting meals, you can click on them and get even more information. So preparation time, how many calories, complexity of the cooking, and then you've got allergies as well. It shows you the ingredients. One of the things I really like about HelloFresh is that they keep the ingredient list like really simple. And I've used other services where you get like tons of extra ingredients and it gets a bit messy trying to use them all, which is why I kind of settled on using HelloFresh as my main one. Tells you what utensils you'll need. These are all basics that you're going to find in your kitchen if you're perhaps a little shy with the cooking. And then you get your macro breakdown, which I love because I like to make sure I get enough protein every day and stuff. So tons of information, which is really just excellent. And then you pick out the ones that you want. Sometimes they come with modifiers, or you can add sides that complement the dish as well, so you can add a little extra in too. And there's just absolutely tons of cool stuff every week to pick from, as you can see here. And then I mentioned that, like, adding things, like you can add chicken breast to this recipe, or you could swap in meatballs for something else. So you get to customize these things as well, which is pretty cool. Now, when I do my next stream of HelloFresh, I'll show you some pictures of the cooking that I've been doing and the unboxing process as well, so you can kind of see how simple everything is. A message in my chat says, is this type of advertisement even legal? Yeah, why would it not be? Advertising is perfectly fine. Wait, there is actually customization, says Castle Becky. Yeah, look, we're doing the customization bit right here. I'm pretty sure it's like every recipe gives you a thing you can add to it, and then an option to swap out the meat for something different. Sometimes those options are like swapping out meat for meat alternatives as well. So if you're vegetarian, it's great too. Goofy Me says, just cooked my HelloFresh meal and it's great. Awesome. I actually had to skip my box this week, so I can't say that because I've got things going on. I just couldn't, like, when you're out and about and out of the house, I'm not here enough to cook it, but I pretty much get one of these boxes every week and it's just super convenient. Yeah, so now let's go back into the game. I got some pointers that I just need to get through quickly. I wrote these down just so I can make sure I hit all the beats that they want me to hit. So you can use that code HelloXisuma. That'll support me, and you'll get your food in the box, of course. 60% off the first box, 25% off the next 3 months. Dang, I want that offer on mine. I'm paying full price over here. It's ending soon, by the way, so you'll want to get in on this quick with that offer. You can click the link on my Twitch panel or in the description box if you're on the second channel. You can type !HelloFresh to get a link in chat. And it's important to mention that this code works in the UK, Canada, New Zealand, the US of A, Australia, Germany, and France. If you are outside of those regions, it might not work. I'm not entirely sure. I believe they deliver beyond those regions, but those are the ones that the code definitely works in. So you can select your weekly recipes, modify the serving per recipe, and schedule delivery at your convenience. You get to pick like the day of the week that you want it to turn up. And of course, you can pause or cancel your subscription at any time. So if you give it a try and it's not for you, you can cancel the subscription. There's healthy recipes. They're full of fresh ingredients, and you can select your week. That's the one I already just read. Okay, I put one in there twice. Yeah, so I've hit all the beats that I wanted to hit with this. And you know what? For the next part of this stream, looking at all that food, it should be pretty obvious that what I want to talk about, right? Okay, let's get my stuff back on the stream. Okay, right, good. We're going to go do this project. And we're going to talk about some food. I am known for talking about food around here. And looking at all of those tasty meals just honestly got me quite hungry. I've got a rumbly belly. And I've had a couple of meals today. I can tell you what I've been cooking. First of all, though, I've got to introduce you to this project while we like hang out and talk. It is down. Oh God, it's full of baddies. I should have thought about this. No, no. Okay, this might be kind of tricky. I should have got like a potion for this. Wait, I might have a potion for this. Do I have a potion for this? Did I leave potion? Buckets. Buckets. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I did leave potions somewhere in here. Not. Oh my God, they changed the color of it. Yeah, I'm probably going to end up needing that second one too. So, yeah. Right. Aha! There's monsters in this area. Okay, now check this out. Somewhere around here, I think I might actually be... This is it. This is it over here. There is just this massive, massive system. And now that I've actually drunk the potion, the effect is really quite different because we can see everything. Here's my plan. I want to light up this area with glow lichens so that nothing spawns in it, and then find some sort of project to do in it. Wait, not ready, not ready. Leave the area. So we're going to get in there and place down all of this glow lichen. And I'm going to have to... Oh my God, I'm not sure if I'm in the right spot yet. I think this is it over here. This is the area. And we're going to have to make use of this. Okay, and we have to make sure that all the red spots are gone. And then this thing is going to look amazing when the night vision potion wears off. For some reason, this reminds me of boiled chicken, says Iria. I can tell you what, I don't think I've ever cooked a HelloFresh recipe with boiled chicken. That's one of my own personal touches. But yeah, I've been using those meal delivery services for like years, and they're so great. And I never really talked about them because I was like, I want to get a sponsorship deal, you know? Because that's how I found out about them, through other YouTubers promoting them. I gave it a try. It was great. I've tried a bunch of them, and HelloFresh just happens to be the one that I use now pretty much all the time. As I mentioned, I think, a couple of details about why I use their service. The delivery day happens to be great for me. Some of the other ones that I use, like, they deliver a little later than convenient. But the key thing for me, I think, was like portion sizes. Like, you get a lot of calories for your money compared to some of the other services I used. And they kind of like simplify the recipes. I mentioned that. Like, some of the other ones that I used, they give you tons of like different spices and all these like extra steps, which it's kind of cool to do and learn, but after you've done it for a while, you know, just having the more straightforward approach is much better, and it tastes just as great. So that's kind of like why I've I guess settled on them. So earlier today, this is my own recipe, right? I've been working on this chili beef and chili cheese recipe, and I got a really good one, right? I did one a while ago, and it was kind of like, it's all right. And then I thought about how I might modify the recipe and like get it tasting how I want it to taste. And I was able to do that with this iteration that I made today. I also made like 4 portions at once. I'm starting to get into like batch cooking a little bit now. So that turned out really good. I had that though with egg fried rice. Oh, it's a really good combination because I'm trying to emulate this this barbecue and chili beef and chili cheese pizza that I get. I've been trying to turn it into a dish, and I'm getting close to emulating that. But like, the pizza base is obviously like a part of the experience. And turns out having it with rice is a really good alternative, so I'm pretty stoked with how that is going. And by the way, I really love cooking. I don't know, I probably said that a gazillion times, but I love putting on like some music or a podcast, listen to some YouTube videos, and just focus on making a meal. It's really nice. Tobias says, I'm a horrible cook, even when following recipes and instructions. If you tell yourself that, you'll make it true. I mean, I found that following the instructions taught me so much about cooking. If you're not having that experience, I wouldn't know why. But for me, it taught me so many basics that like I didn't know to ask. And yeah, now I can like throw together my own dishes pretty confidently. But I tend to be like a plan ahead type cooker. Like I'll think about what meals I'm going to eat in the week and then write out all the ingredients. I'm not so good at like seeing a bunch of random stuff in a fridge and oh, I can do this with it. But yeah. I'm an average cook, except when it comes to making burgers. Then suddenly I am a chef. Awesome, dude. Awesome. Ah, there you go. See you later. Tobias, you're becoming a better cook. Keep at it, says Ottomania. I like your attitude, Otter. I mean, if you're attempting to cook, you got to be learning at least something. Maybe it's just going to be a slow process, right? But yeah, I really enjoy my cooking. The other meal that I had today was, let's see, I had a stir fry with a ridiculous amount of vegetables. I mean, I put my food into a fruit bowl, not a regular bowl. I absolutely filled it up. And when you're eating the same thing over and over again, it's good to have some things on the side. So I had some like chili sauce and some soy sauce, and you know, just dump that in occasionally and just like spice it up again. Really enjoyed that. Had some fruit and yogurt with it as well. I just don't get cooking. I eat out pretty much every day just so I can avoid making the food myself, says my man Spood. Think of it like this. Like, we all got these ideas, these stories in our heads that we tell ourselves. We don't like this thing, we don't like that type of music, yada yada yada, I'm not into this and that. I feel like when you do that, you kind of like reinforce the idea. And sometimes it's maybe good to like step back from those assumptions and just have a bit more of an open mind. So with cooking, like, I can see how it's like, it feels like a hassle. But if you just adopt a different mindset of thinking like, hey, what if I take this time to just relax? Like, this isn't about doing anything else. I'm just going to be in the kitchen, I'm going to have some music that I like on, and I'm just going to follow these instructions and, you know, do the activity and cook the food, right? And I found that to actually become quite pleasurable. When I lived at home with my parents, I didn't do any cooking and didn't really like it. Actually, it's not true. Towards like the last few years before I left, I actually started learning to cook some of the meals that they used to make for me and my sister when we were kids, and I started to take like a partial interest in it then. And this was, by the way, this was before meal delivery services were even a thing, right? Oh my god, there's quite a lot of them. Oh my god, there really is quite a lot of them. This was like before those were even a thing. And do you know that one of the big reasons I like doing it is because I was growing my little collection of CDs of like classic records. You know, I'd put on like Nas Illmatic and listen to the whole thing while I cooked food for everyone. And that was like a thing that made it more enjoyable for me. But I definitely had to have like this attitude shift from like seeing it one way and then realizing I could just take that time to enjoy what it was. And then once I did that, I actually got quite into it. I really quite liked it. Okay, things have changed around here all of a sudden. Dang. Okay, right, so let's get rid of that. Now, I think I'm relatively safe here, but with the detached cam, can you see what we're going for? Like, we're going to create a massive cavernous area. We're going to do this in our live streams. There's a bit of a lighting glitch over here. This whole spooky, crazy area. The Black Ranger PL! Thank you so much for your support, man. Oh my god, I'm being attacked! Evil X in his house, you know? I love that animation. I've still got the animations up on my other screen. I should really swap that back now. Yeah, the Black Ranger PL. Thank you for 84 months. Incredible, my dude. Incredible. I need to hydrate a little bit here. Just kind of noticed got a bit of a dry mouth going on. I went to cooking class in an evening school, learned cutting techniques, eaten different food combinations. Brilliant time, even for a beginner like me. Awesome, my dude. The cutting technique is something that I've been trying to improve, and I've watched videos on how to do it different to how I do it. But I'm really like stuck in my ways with it. I've been trying to get my hands on a specific type of knife. I say trying. I've actually just like not gone to the shops in ages, but when I was like last going to like different shops, I'd like go to the knife sections and just try and find this one type of knife. I haven't been able to find it, but it just sort of looked like the one that I would get along with, because my chopping technique is really quite slow, and I've watched videos on how to do it different, and I can't seem to like get that way the professionals do it. I can't quite get that rhythm together. And you know, like those things add up a lot. You could save a lot of time over time if you've got a really fast chopping technique. But I don't stress about that because my time in the kitchen is always relaxing. So even if I spend a little more than I need to, I kind of think of it in terms of like, hey, I'm here relaxing. Sometimes I'll have a cup of coffee when I cook, or a cup of tea, you know. One of my scouting leaders was a chef and stopped with scouting, but he came back for camp this week. Oh, cool. I had an injury at work as a cook this past year. I couldn't even cook a single meal for myself due to it. What you said with trying to give yourself a new perspective is what I've been trying to do to get myself to start cooking my meals again. Actually watching your streams while watch cooking right now. Hey, yeah, that's fascinating. I'm sorry to hear you got injured, dude, but like that's a great idea, really. I can imagine how frustrating that would be with like something that you can do better at because you used to be able to do it better. Like maybe if I took guitar as a sort of an example, an equivalent example for myself. Like if I got injured in a way where I couldn't pick up a guitar and play again, it would really like frustrate me. But you have to like reorient in your thinking and like, hey, this is just starting from the beginning again now, and you got to enjoy that new challenge, that new process. So much of life like isn't really what happens to you. Oh my god, that totally went through that creeper. It's your relationship to what happens to you. Everybody probably knows someone who, like, I don't know, walking down the street on a rainy day and a car, you know, splashes and soaks you. And some people, it ruins their whole day, and other people can, like, brush it off. You know, life's short. That's a huge thing. That's a huge thing. I keep trying to, like, every time I encounter some sort of dissatisfaction or some reason to be upset, I try and like ask and remind myself, like, does it have to be that way? Like, can I look at this a different way? And sometimes the answer is just kind of like, yeah, actually, this isn't really the worst thing ever. Like, I can think of worse things right now, so I'll count my blessings. I have a fear if burning myself when I put cakes into the oven, says Blue Raven. Make sure, you know, be extra vigilant. Make sure you got some good old oven mitts on, right? The fear is rational. You can burn yourself. You just got to, you know, use some precaution. Dang, this area is like an absolute mob farm, isn't it? Because I've lit up so many of the other caves, like down below and around. We got to keep an eye on these arrows that we're consuming here. That one didn't get glowed, but it did get shot and set on fire. That is a curious thing to happen, considering that we're using that particular type of arrow. My man Spood is here with the Prime subscription. Leonard Datch is here for 18 months. That's 2 Twitch babies. Thank you so much for your support. I'm sorry for all the waffling. And yeah, those were a few minutes ago, those noises. I'm a little bit behind. Probably picked up a normal one from a skelly, says Spooky Dokie. Ah, we've been using those as ammunition before we've been using the others. Spooky, very well observed there. Very well observed. Mystery solved. I really like doing just, I don't know, simple grindy things in Minecraft like this sometimes. Yeah, I don't actually want to go all the way down there. I don't think they can make their way back out. So for now, you know, when we use this area for a project, if we get around to that, there'll be a bit more care put into like where the mobs can come from and stuff, right? How much we got left on this? Ah! Dang it! Bad time. Bad time. 3 minutes. Yeesh. Yeah, I'm going to sort of keep going diagonally across because we've done everything behind us, I think. I hope. I got some good oven gloves from a certain e-commerce website named after a place in South America. They're BBQ ones. They're really good for heat resistance and have 5-finger space as opposed to the normal ones, which makes grabbing things much easier. But that does actually sound really good because, yeah, normally they just have like a sort of bland one-size-fits-all space for your hand to go into, and that doesn't let you grip stuff. It's always interesting when there are things that you just kind of like accept and we all just use, and sometimes don't think, hey, there's a better way to do this, right? Like those oven gloves kind of remind me of that. Like, yeah, this doesn't seem like actually that optimal, yet we all kind of just use it this way. Right. There will always be these moments where you need to come back and, like, find those one little spots, you know, up on a ledge somewhere, being completely useless. But that's okay. Joe Hills is busy with the pinball machine. Oh, of course Joe is. I wish I could get this data pack on Bedrock. It would help so much. Oh, this isn't a data pack. This is a mod, if you're referring to these numbers. I think you can do it with a data pack as well, maybe. I think you can do that. Yeah, I guess we'll clear off this little corner down here too. Just saw your recent video on Xisuma says Madison. Oh, cool. What did you think about it? It's about me asking a question saying, like, what can we do for all of you? It's just that every stream I do, I'm just constantly reminded of, like, how lucky I am to be a hermit and to be a part of this community. And I just feel like a broken record, constantly saying thank you. And so I kind of wanted to, like, pluck some ideas from all of y'all, because someone out there might have a really bright idea on how we can kind of do, or just maybe me. I say we, like I'm talking for myself really, but as a member of Hermitcraft, it just sometimes there's just ideas and things out there that you don't even consider or think about that could be really amazing to do. And I just feel like there's this constant humbleness, you know, of like us just being in awe of this situation that we're in that's made possible by all of you. Maybe there's just some like really awesome ideas that just aren't obvious that we could do that would like benefit everyone. And so I just kind of wanted to like get a feel for what some of those ideas might be. And I haven't actually, I did read a few comments earlier today, but I've been so pressed with that next episode of Hermitcraft. Gosh, I'll have to make a note. In fact, yeah, I'm going to make that note right now. So post-stream notes, read excess comments. I will get around to that. That is one I really wanted to read all of the comments back on. Yes, stuff's such a rat race all the time, right? And you do actually have control over that pace yourself. I just need to learn how to keep that pace right. Okay, as I said, you'll get all of these like annoying little ledge bits eventually. I've done a lot of this before. Good. But Potato, thank you ever so much for 29 months of support. Incredible, my dude. Appreciate ya. Thank you, thank you. You should do a creepy sea creature or a mermaid in the water of that cave. That is a cool idea. I have been thinking about this place as a spot for an activity because I'm not the kind of person that will build things because of what they are and how they look. I've never really like gotten that much pleasure from like, hey, I like this thing. I like guitars, so let's go build a giant guitar. Like, my brain is not like that with Minecraft. It's more like, I don't know, redstone gizmos and contraptions and automation. But there was one season of Fullcraft, not to be confused with Hermitcraft. There was a season of Fullcraft where I made a record store shop where all of y'all contributed these really funny like meme records of different fools. And that's still on my website if ever you want to go check that out. Okay, I think I'm done with this little area. I just spotted a couple more bits that need some sort of attention. Okay, let's get back to the base. We need to make some more potions, I think. Yeah, and then with the guitar shop, I can make guitars. Now, because you could do it with chisel and bits, you can make like a realistic looking / sized thing. You know, a little object in the game. It was like more proportional to the player. And because it had that like relation to the player in the world where, you know, you're not looking at a giant statue of a guitar, you're looking at like a guitar in front of you. It really worked. It really worked to do that. The Black Ranger PL says, X would rather build a guitar farm than build a guitar. I mean, yeah, basically. You're basically spot on there. I'm going to drink a little bit more water. X, I have kind of a weird question. Have you ever thought of a backup plan in case Minecraft becomes not relevant and stops providing you income? I know several streamers have looked into opening or co-owning businesses. Have you ever thought about things like this? Yeah, of course, of course. I've, you know, like you can see things that I've tried over the years. The Xisuma Says channel, the Xisuma Music channel. Like I tried to like branch out more as a creator, but I kind of like overwhelmed myself in the process. And I listen to a lot of podcasts with like business entrepreneurs, and I find that world really fascinating. But I've never had like this staunch idea of something else I would be on top of and into other than my music. Like, that's the only one other thing I know I would do. Maybe it takes this thing that we're doing right now to actually come to its conclusion for me to then find what the next thing is, because I'm always overwhelmed by, gotta make this video, gotta do that thing, right? And when you're in that state, it's really quite hard to forge a vision for something bigger or different. And all of this being said, I do actually have projects outside of this. One that is due to finish very soon, and another that I am like I've taken a break from, but I'm getting back into. And I don't really like talk about them, because if I had talked about them, I sort of would have talked about them a very long time ago, and then they wouldn't have come to fruition, like within anyone's expectation of when. So for that reason, I need to go find some carrots from somewhere. So for that reason, yeah, I don't really talk about what these other things I'm doing are, but they are taking up a lot of my time and whatnot, and then one day you'll see them. One of them soon, one of them maybe in, I don't know, half a year possibly, and I've already been working on it for over a year. Like, yeah, so I don't talk about them because it's just, you know, I could choose one of them. I could choose to talk about right now, but I've thought a lot about how I want to put it out there, and the idea is like when it's done, you'll see it. There might be like a week of build up from me, or a few days. Like there might be this moment where I can talk about it for a little bit just before it's ready. But I just decided get it done and then give it to the world, that kind of thing. Anyway, carrots. Anyone sell carrots? Said this weird doom guy floating through the sky, shouting at a bunch of hermits. I can't think of anyone selling carrots. Actually, I kind of need golden carrots. Or golden ones. iBuy seems like a place to get golden carrots from, doesn't it? Hey, creature! Thank you so much for your Amazon Prime subscription. Appreciate you using that on me. Peeps are saying that carrots are at spawn. Oh, Iskal had a carrot shop, right? Okay, let's go check out carrots from Iskal. Yeah, thank you for using the Prime subscription, my dude. Peeps, if you did not know and you have Amazon Prime by any chance, most of you probably do, you can use it to get a free subscription here on the Twitch every month. What's this? Green had a stack of golden left, but there was a golden shop. Wasn't it removed? Oh, so apparently there are some ingredients entity. Okay, so if this don't... Oh, did this actually ever open? Or what's going on here? Well, if this has been shut down, then I cordially invite myself... Dang it, to take some of the leftovers. Okay, looks like we're going to the entity then. Have you seen this guy online in HC? I haven't seen him online recently, however, I have spoken to Iskal, and he's got things going on that mean he can't be on Hermitcraft right now. I don't want to say too much for him because it's his business. But you know, I'm very much looking forward to when he is back on here. But you know, sometimes life happens and other things take priority or get in the way, you know, so he'll be welcome whenever he's ready to come back on. Same for Stress as well. We saw Stress a little while ago, which was nice. You know, so where are these golden carrots? Dang. 2 stack, 1... You know what? I'm only getting 1 stack out of this. How does someone pay in half a diamond? With our custom textures on the server, like, I could get, like, a half diamond put into the pack. It's kind of funny. Callum J01, thank you so much for the raid. Appreciate it. Name it, you owe me 1 stack. I could do. Nah, I just want to go brew some potions. Turpy says, I recently listened to your music for the first time. I really liked it. How do you write music? Oh, there's a question. Gosh, I feel like I've probably been asked that before. How do you write music? Dang. There's so many ways I could approach this, right? I'll give you the personal how do I do it. Okay, so I use a program called Guitar Pro, which allows you to write tablature, which is those fancy notes that you see. That's actually notation. Tablature is the easier to understand equivalent where you see numbers, because then you can go, ah, it's a number on the fretboard. So the way that I write music is actually with those numbers, but they translate to the fretboard. So I write the music on my guitar. And, you know, I never taught myself music theory, but I do use some scales and basic elements of music and whatnot. But essentially, it's just like, through learning to play an instrument, you start by learning to play chords, and then you start learning rhythms, and you start learning notes, and then as you learn all these little bits, you start to build up a capacity for being able to like remix, to do that thing that you learn slightly different. When you learn this and you get more and more things in your skill set, then that area that you can go into where you're sort of remixing, essentially, it gets more and more fluid, and you can explore like sounds that interest you. And so my way of writing was like either playing the guitar and doodling until something like hits you and sticks, or I would just already have it in my head, because you don't actually need an instrument to write music. You can just, you know, hear it in your head. And then I had the tools, because I was using Guitar Pro and other music writing software, to then take those ideas and put them down into some sort of format that can then become something you could hear. So some of those songs you've been hearing from my music, a lot of them are written, let me think. What have I published? If I go through them one by one, I can tell you how they're done. So Forgotten Conquest is a mix of stuff written in Guitar Pro, probably from the guitar first, and a lot of experimentation with my digital audio workstation, with working with virtual instruments and different effects, like, you know, reverbs and stuff, and using the keyboard to find those sounds and then slowly build like soundscapes and songs with them. Then the Elemental Forge demo is a pure Guitar Pro project, like everything written in there, including the drums and stuff. Hey, the one, the only, from Nashville, Tennessee, Joe Hills, thank you so much for the raid, my dude. Greatly appreciated. Joe, our fellow hermit, raiding another hermit. I'm just chatting about how I write music. Oh, I was about to say no problem. But welcome over all the raiders. So there's a mix of that on Forgotten Conquest. The Elemental Forge demo is all Guitar Pro type songs, and the record that is from is all the songs in that were written through Guitar Pro as well. Then the Lost in Time demos, they are all written in DAW, which I use Fruity Loops, which some people frown upon, and I just don't care because I was able to learn it, right? That was the reason I can learn this one. The other ones are a bit too much, but anyway, I make music with that. That stuff is mostly driven by keyboards. If you hear some like drum beats in those songs, those were probably, I probably wrote them on the drums at the time because I have an electronic drum kit. So I would sit down on that and make up grooves and stuff, sort of just going back and forth between like the keyboard and the drums. Dang! I was supposed to make some potions for this. I skipped that step, didn't I? But now we've got some really good food to help keep us alive, I guess. Then the Negative Civilization demos, there's 2 tracks. I've actually written like, I don't know, maybe like 10 or 12 different ideas for that record. But I don't know if I'll ever finish that. Like, whenever I get back into music again, you tend to like approach it in different ways, like playing the guitar or doodling with some sounds, and then some stuff starts to click and you start getting into a song, but I don't really know when I'll get around to doing that again. Those ones are made with like samples more than instruments, so it's more about like listening to sounds other people have created and then finding ways to fit them together. Which another thing I did at one point in time is I made a whole bunch of hip-hop beats, and I've never really published them because of sampling and licensing and stuff. But these hip-hop beats, like, I love the way in which you're listening to other people's music and taking bits of it and like fitting it together with something else. It is so exciting to do that. It's a really interesting experience. And so the industrial stuff that I do is a little bit like that because it's a process of finding sounds. Like you can buy what are called sound libraries. These are like kits for professional musicians that are just full of like samples to fit a specific type of sound. So I would buy like industrial packs where you got sounds of like drills and ammunition being fired and machines being operated. And then you can like take bits of those sounds and mix them into your guitars and other things. Oh god. Dang. Hey, we've just been raided by False as well. Dang, double raid today. Welcome, peeps. Oh my god, I'm failing to multitask. I need to tell you what we've been doing today. I need to introduce everyone to this Hermitcraft stream, I guess. So obviously you're seeing some moddy looking stuff right now. We're just lighting up these caves and making them absolutely amazing. Purely for the fact that when it's all lit up this way, it'll just be a great spot to like put a project or fly through. So you can see what we've done today purely by if it's lit up or not. And the idea is that we light it with glow lichen so that we get this incredible ambiance in here. And then when we get around to like building and filling this out, it'll just be free of mobs. Now, if I go over into this area, you can see how things change and get darker. But it is a massive cave system. Apparently, there's like a, what do we call that? A carver here. And, oh, yeah. Like, maybe we'll fly around in here with elytras. Who knows? But today, oops, we started that project. And I will show you the other thing that we did today as well. But welcome all the raiders. Feel free to hit the follow button if you enjoy Hermitcraft. I'm sure most of you do. Hermitcraft is pretty much all I stream around here. I am. Wait, no, that's the wrong one. There's 2 tunnels here. This is the other thing that we finished off today. I am really happy with this project because I'm not much of a builder, but I kind of put together a simple idea and made it happen. We put a bunch of leaves in the ceiling. We split the distance to travel into sections and gave each section a color. And today what we did is we just sorted out these transitions on the ground where you go from one color to another. So now when I head to this region of the area, I get to walk through this and just enjoy it every time. Hi X, there are a lot of custom textures this season. Will they be included in the post-season world download? Yes, they will be part of the resource pack. You will experience it the same way. Got a message highlighted here from Zen Figment. I've noticed that many people in Hermit streams, chat, and in video comments see the large builds Hermits do and then get down on themselves for what they've accomplished in their own worlds. I know exactly what you're talking about. Perhaps Hermitcraft could sometimes do a community play-along theme week, like a mini build or express yourself. During themes, Hermits could encourage the community to cherish their own creations and celebrate the small Minecraft moments we all live. Yeah, I feel like what you've suggested there is more about maybe a bit of an attitude change in how we talk about these projects that we do, but it feels to me like it's a maybe like a misunderstanding or something is lost. Like, I know what you mean. I see those comments, and when I see them, I'm always like, ah, dude, like, I play this for a living. Like, that's what I think. When I see that comment of like, oh man, like, my world sucks when you look at the Hermits are done, that kind of thing, I'm always like, oh man, but like, I've been doing this for 11 years, and it's my job. There's a reason, like, these builds are big, and we play it like this. It's because I have a lot more hours than the average person to put into a Minecraft world, and I don't want that to be demotivating for anyone. I want it to be inspiring, but I can see how, like, in the shadow of something that we do as Hermits, it can feel that way. But there's that saying that comparison is the thief of joy, right? When you know, you can put all this time, energy, and passion into your builds. You step back from it. Wow, I did that. I love how this turned out. You know, I executed this idea that I've had for ages. Isn't it cool? But it's when you go look at what someone else did that you go, oh, it's not as good as that, right? So it's the thing that needs to change is the comparison there. Like, the mindset needs to change. And maybe we can communicate that. To me, it would feel, I'll think about it, it would feel a little wooden to sort of inject an idea like that into the middle of my video. Hey, did you like the mega builds? Did it make yours feel insignificant? Like, remember, like, it just, I don't know, it feels like it would be hard to address that in a way that kind of felt like organic, but I'm not ruling it out. I just feel like you touched on something interesting. It just needs like a moment or a way to be conveyed correctly, I guess. This is not the same area. This is just a random cave here. I feel like it's common sense that you guys do this for a living. Of course, the scale and quality will be amazing, says Happy Deb. Yeah, and the other thing is there's this problem with comments where people talk with memes or sarcasm or not a full amount of seriousness. So sometimes people say that more jokingly than seriously, right? Like, it's like, you can say that being someone who really enjoys doing everything you do in your world, you have a great time, but you're just joking about how, like, you know that in comparison, it doesn't look as good, right? So there's that element to it too. Yeah, I guess I totally get what you're saying. It just, to me, it feels like a bit of a wooden thing to, like, insert into a video. To be like, hey, remember, we're full-timers and, you know, this is what we do for a living. But that knowledge does need to be conveyed somewhere, I guess, is what I'm kind of also saying. I'm very inspired by all of the Hermitcraft builds, says Darth Sarah. Yep, there's that too. So not everyone is looking and going, oh, I'm so terrible. Some people are like, dang, they did what? I want to try that. We got Awkward Mutts here, some cheers and biddies. Thank you so much for your generosity and supporting the channel with some cheers and bits. Can't thank you enough. There's no message of that one, but I'll be on the lookout if you want to share something in chat with us. Hey X, how do I get shulkers like you have, says Ultra Precision. Go check the Hermitcraft playlist on my channel. A few episodes back, maybe about 10 or 12, you will see a bunch of shulker related things on the thumbnail. That episode is, by shulker related things, let me see. Like, it's got scaffolding on it as well. The one with scaffolding and shulker related stuff that will be the one in which I built the shulker farm that has given me a redonkulous amount of shulkers. Shulkers are now just something that you don't worry about, that you use as many of them as you want, which is terrific. It's the way it should be. The hermits, anyway. The way we play, always got to be taking it to that next level. And oops, shulker box is the way to do it. Uh-huh. My Minecraft is stuck on 1.13, so there's a distinct lack of inspiration for me to play. Is there not a way for you to upgrade it to a newer version? I don't know why it would be stuck on 1.13. If you've had trouble upgrading your worlds, there might be tools that can help you upgrade. And if you do use any of those, make a backup. Right? A backup is technically not a copy. A backup is a copy stored separate from the original, right? I mean, you probably just need to make a copy to use a tool, right? But yeah, just a thing with backups is, if you think you've backed stuff up, it needs to be on a different system. It needs to be like separate from the vulnerability of where the original thing is stored. It's on the Xbox 360, so they don't update it anymore because it's pretty old. Yeah, so what you want to look into doing is a way to get that world off of the console and then use a world converter to take it from that format to a different one, and then you could possibly play it on Java or on the new Xbox system, etc, etc. Wait, but X has Xisuma as well. Wait, okay. Some of y'all are talking about skins now, it seems. I don't think a world converter exists for legacy consoles, says Animala Racacidide. I believe they do because I've used one and I'm pretty sure it converts that world type. The one I use, I think, is like sort of called Minecraft World or Ultimate Minecraft World Converter or something. Something very generic and bland. It doesn't have like a buzzword built into it that identifies it. But sometimes, you know, with these things, you just have to research, trial and error, and experiment. So, like, you know, you need to search Legacy World Converter, and you might be looking at picking up some software that isn't really supported anymore, because I imagine at the time they would have been making converters for the 360. So if you can just convert it from that format to a more modern one, then you might be able to jump to, you know, like a different tool once you've taken care of that step. Like, you might need basically a couple of different tools to get the job done in total. Dang it, there's still one more up there. I'm going to do this the crazy man's way. Yeesh. Yeah. Yeah, there's gonna be loads of this eventually, isn't there? Oh gosh, right, we'll go up here and do this. Dang! This bit next. There is space to fly around in here though, which is really, oh, this one. Nope, nope, nope. I'm below it. Now I'm on it. Ugh. I'm on it like Scotch bonnet. The Blue Magpie says, Hermitcraft helped me to bond with my son, showing him ideas I'd learned, or teaching him fun pranks to play with his friends. We both have our own favourite hermits and love to watch together. I love hearing stories like that. They're so amazing. That's a beautiful thing. Thank you for sharing. Carl says, maybe it wouldn't just be commenting about motivating peeps with their skills, but just for example, there could be a Build with Hermits challenge that focuses on smaller builds with certain skills given a realistic time frame. Yeah, I like, you know, yeah, it's something, you need someone to take a lead on an idea like this, and I feel like I'm not the person. I'll make a note and I'll mention it when I feel like the time is right. Because I like the idea of having maybe like an area on the server where we bring your builds on here too. That sounds fantastic, and I don't think you'll find a hermit that don't like that idea, but it's just who takes lead on that and makes it happen is always the issue. We're always throwing around ideas. We're very creative people, but then there's always that point where you need to execute the idea, and then that's when like someone has to make that time commitment. And like, you know, would I do it? I could, but what's my time commitment? Because I'm working on this project and that project, and oh, when am I going to find time to like properly orchestrate that and do it right? That tends to be it, you know. I was thinking, occasionally we talk about recruiting hermits and that kind of stuff, right? I sometimes think it might be interesting to recruit a hermit whose skill set isn't plays Minecraft, makes videos, or streams, right? Like, maybe it'd be interesting to look beyond and work with someone who can bring something out of the box to what we do. Like, give us a new dimension, you know? I don't quite have an answer for what that is, but like some form of organizational ability would probably go a long way in this group. I am utterly shattered from my years of running meetings and trying to organize stuff. Like it went it really like took a toll on me, and I don't want to make that sound negative because I wanted nothing more than to do what I could for this group, and it's in very capable hands now. Things have gotten so much better, where we've like resolved that issue. But yeah, like the organization that a person brings to a group makes a difference. And as many of you know, it's Impulse who's now like our meeting organizer person, right? And that dude is like grinding out so much stuff. I don't know how he does it, you know? Like, maybe having someone just dedicated to that could be an amazing thing for this group. But yeah, it'd be a bit of a strange thing too, because you'd be asking someone to like come in and do something different among people all doing something very similar. So it's like, you know, it's a bit of a weird idea, really. But I think it's, you know, it's always worth exploring ideas, because some ideas, they get sharper and sharper the more you explore them. They start to become like, wait a minute, this one's really worth following up on. That's where some of the ideas for projects and whatnot come from. You start toying around with just silly, goofy ideas, and one thing leads to another, and then you got this like idea that you can't get out of your head. Like, I can't wait to tell you the story of how my next thing you're going to see in my next episode of Hermitcraft came together, because its origin story is, okay, it's this. Rapping in the shower. Okay? Rapping in the shower is the origin story of my next Hermitcraft project. There is no showers, there is no rapping in my next episode of Hermitcraft. But you right now know the origin story of that project is rapping in the shower. And I will explain in greater detail when the time is right. But that's an exercise in creativity where just one thing leads to another. My brain is doing its thing where it's just like exploring ideas, and then all of a sudden something clicks, and then you're like, oh, wait a minute, this is that, and then yeah, you'll see it soon. It's very, very weird being a creative person. I'm sure every hermit has got a story like that. You know, I saw this shadow that kind of looked like this thing, but it wasn't, and then bam, I had an idea. And that was my next episode of Hermitcraft. Maybe not, maybe it's just me. Rapping in the shower. No, rapping with an R, not a W. Like battle rapping, like yo yo yo. You know, that kind of... Dang it, my memory and brain is so slow, you know. Dropping, what was it? Dropping blows on all my foes in the G team, looking unclean, needing some sunscreen. That kind of rapping. Xisuma rap battling the shower spigot. I went toe to toe with the spigot. I do a lot of art and I find inspiration in the weirdest places. Once got a great idea from the shape of the bubbles in a bath, says the Blue Magpie. That sounds amazing. I love that. Yeah. Yeah, I imagine the creatives out there will absolutely get it. Yeah, it's probably not that weird, really, right? But I love it. Like, I can't wait to go into more detail, because it actually, like, when you hear it in more detail, like you'll understand. Actually, that kind of makes probably like that's a lot more rational than I'm making it sound. It just sounds funny in the abstract, but it's a really cool concept, and y'all will see it soon. We have absolutely tore through this area. Like, I did not expect to get, like... It's probably not actually half, because this open area, this is kind of, like, quite quick to breeze through. And then you spend, a lot of time up top getting those tiny little spots that they start, you know, they start dropping down on top of your head from if you don't light them all up. I also did not keep track, they're getting too close, of how much glow lichen we used today. But I'd say a fair amount. Oh, here we go, here we go. Come on! That's how we roll. Yeah, we really have hit this thing up well. In fact, I can kind of do this, but you can only go so far. Oh, no, the detached cam works with this. Excellent. Yeah, look, there's a couple of spots there. And there's something up there. Didn't I see another one here? Or maybe that got both. Oh, there it is. Uh-huh. What are your glow lichen stats? That is a great question. We shall find out. We shall find out. Oh, and there's a little bit more to do over here on the way out, it looks like. When they got a yellow border around them, I think it means that the sky is taking care of it at the moment. But, like, it's not actually technically lit up properly. Right. Oh, a beautiful tunnel. I'm going to fly all the way through it. Oh, I really should have turned off the numbers for that one. Okay, now that we're back here. What do we need to do? Oh, stats. Stats. Yes. There's the button for it. Items. Now, there's a lot of items. So, like, times placed is probably that one. Dang. So I'm gonna say I actually only reckon it's gonna be a couple thousand. I'm gonna go about 4,000 to 5,000 glow lichen. Okay, we're coming up on that range now. Oh no, I think I might have overestimated maybe. Oh no! Oh! 4,300. Pretty dope. Pretty good estimation right there. I like it. Did alright. Hate this screen, can't find anything, says Blobber. It is in need of a search, isn't it? You have to use a bit of intuition, like if you're looking for yeah, something that you know you've mined a lot of, it's easier to get to. But then again, like if it wasn't about sorting these out, like the fact that you can sort them by these types is really good too. So yeah, and then like how many diamond ore, right? How far? Like probably more than 200. Oh, maybe not. See, Doc M, there you go, 500. Doc M would have probably a really skewed stat here because he's been deliberately farming it, but then also silk touching it to build with it later. So, like, you'd probably see a few thousand on that one from Doc. Cool. Anyway, peeps, I think that's where I'm going to wrap up my live stream for today. I hope you've been entertained and enjoyed it. Be sure to hit the follow button over here. Thank you again to HelloFresh for sponsoring this stream. And remember, you can use the code Hello Xisuma to get 60% off your first week, 25% off your next 3 weeks if I'm remembering it correctly. Can't recommend them enough. As I said, I am a customer and pretty stoked to have them as a sponsor. I hope it works out. I hope you get what you're looking for. Now, I'm just trying to pick a random Minecraft channel to subscribe to, and Twitch is doing some weird thing where it like shoves another streamer's stream directly in front of me. But I picked out a random streamer that I'm going to send you to today. Let's see if this works. There it goes. Okay. I'm going to send you to a channel with not a lot of viewers. Let's make their day. Thank you, everyone, for subscribing, resubscribing, donating, and cheering. I appreciate all of your support. Thanks to the mods, the patrons, the people gifting subs. And I'll hopefully see you again maybe on Friday. Anyway, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.